AIDS, I remember when it first got in the news, heavily in the news here in this country, and it seemed to me that the disease itself became highly political. It was not treated as other sexually transmitted diseases such as syphilis, for example, in which people had to take blood tests before marriage so that the syphilis disease would not be spread. I would like to know how we can control the behavior of people in foreign countries when we can't control the behavior in our own country.
Yeah, I think you used an important word that really illustrates the difficulty of the problem. You can't control people's behavior, but what you can do is you can educate and you can try to modify behavior. Our experience tells us very clearly that the only way that you can do that effectively is to create an environment in which you don't force people who are the subjects or the targets of your education and behavioral modification. If you force them underground, if you make your education in an environment of oppressiveness, you're not going to get to the people that you need to get to. You've got to create a situation where people understand that they're not going to be stigmatized, that they're not going to lose their human rights when they find out that they're infected, that you're going to do something to help them. You see more and more people coming in, getting the education, and ultimately modifying their behavior. We have already seen that in spades in this country, and that's the environment that we are suggesting to our colleagues overseas to do. Because in some of the developing nations that you're referring to, it is an oppressive situation for rights. One of the examples, the late Jonathan Mann, who was an associate of mine for years, who tragically died in an air crash a few years ago, used to say that HIV/AIDS is as much a disease of human rights than it is a disease of a virus. And in countries in which human rights are not addressed in an appropriate way, people do not have the capability of avoiding infection. Some women, for example, in certain nations, have absolutely no empowerment to avoid being infected by their husband or sexual partner, because women don't seem to have the rights to say, no, I do not want to have sex. Yes, I want to wear a condom. I want to practice safe sex. And in some societies, they're not allowed that right. Those are the things we need to look at, not oppressing or forcing people to do things, because it never works that way.
There are a number of people, for one reason or other, who just do not want to comply and get vaccinated. We've got to get them vaccinated. And hopefully they will do it willingly. If not, there will have to be things that will essentially put pressure on them, such as, you're not going to work in this particular agency or institution. And I believe that once we start doing that, you will see more and more people willingly get vaccinated.